Fearscape Media Network, exploring the unknown, one podcast at a time.
Hey everyone, Ray Robinson here, host of the Unsensitive Podcast. You're probably wondering, what does unsensitive mean? Well, it's a completely made-up word to define a topic that is insensitive to talk about at family gatherings and parties, but you talk about them anyway. New episodes drop every other Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern, part of the Fearscape Media Network.
Hello, and welcome to the Antagonist Podcast, an all-villain podcast. I'm your resident goblin and host, Sam.
And I'm the man with no name, Lance Wayne.
Yay! Merry Christmas, everybody!
Boo!
Excuse me. It's beginning to sound a lot like Bitchmas up in here, Lance.
Oh, you took you a lot to think of that one, didn't it? Shut up.
No.
You know what? Fuck you.
I feel like your humbuggery is really being a downer here, Lance, so maybe you can pep it up a little bit.
No, I don't think it is. Considering who we're covering today or tonight, whenever you're listening to this.
I think that, maybe you just need a little bit more holly jolly spirit for, what we're going to be talking about, because, it's fun. I mean, Fahu Doris, Fahu, whatever else it is.
Yeah.
Christmas spirit come this way.
Yeah. Blow it out your ass. Anyway, we should we go right ahead and into it? If they didn't know from your little song you sung, I don't know, I can't remember words.
Fahu Doris, Fahu Doris, bum, bum, da, da, it's the Grinch.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm sure the 5 people that listen to this really enjoyed that.
Hey, that's more than the 3 that you used to say.
Yeah. Okay. Well, guess we should start this off like always. When did you first encounter the Grinch? Or come into, I don't know, contact?
When you say it like that, it sounds so creepy.
It does. I don't know how to say it. When did you first experience?
When did you first experience the Grinch? Tell us about it. Let's grab a glass of wine and really get down to business.
When were you infected?
By the Grinch?
Yeah.
I was going to try to think of something clever, but now I'm just thinking of like weird jokes about becoming green and stuff. And it also just.
Yeah. It says here that he represents gonorrhea. So.
What?
No. Would that be a trip? Would that be a trip though?
It would be, but I was about to be very surprised because I did do some research about the Grinch and not anywhere did I find that. But I also do not do my research as thoroughly as I probably should.
Yeah, same here.
But no, goodness gracious. First time I ever saw the Grinch. I don't know, because once again, it's a character that was around a lot, when we were kids, because it's been out since 66 is when they came out with the original cartoon. I'm pretty sure it was 66.
I'm seeing something that says 57.
I think that's when the actual story by Dr. Seuss was written.
It will not give me okay, let's go with 66. We're probably wrong. Anybody listening, if you want to correct us, please. All I'm seeing is How the Grinch Stole Christmas TV special. It's not giving me a date.
I
So
say, if you ever at any point in time you want to tell us that we're wrong, it's okay, because we do have an email address and you can feel welcome to email us about how wrong we are.
or comment on our Facebook page.
Or comment on our Facebook page. But our email is theantagonistavp@gmail.com. So you can email us corrections and tell us how horribly we are. It's okay. Our egos don't exist.
Yeah, they're pretty non-existent. I would agree. Yes.
But yeah, no, like as far as like the cartoon and the character, the Grinch, he's been around forever. But whenever like I feel like I really felt connected to the Grinch wasn't until Jim Carrey played him, and in the live action movie, and I just loved it so much.
Blah.
Excuse me, do you want to back that fucking train up?
Well, we'll get into that later.
Apparently we will. But what about you? So I mean, do you have specific Grinch memory?
Honestly, I'm the same as you. I grew up. I mean, I probably like you. I grew up more with the TV special, as it says here, the animated one. I don't know. I just always I out of all the Christmas characters or whatever you want to call them, the Grinch is probably, outside of Krampus, of course, has probably always been my like favorite. I don't know. I guess just because he kind of, like anything else with me, he kind of looks like a monster, and he's green, which is my all-time favorite color. So that doesn't hurt. But later on, I found out that he was voiced by legendary. I mean, I don't even know if I can just say legendary actor, legendary horror god, Boris Karloff, which blew my friggin' mind when I first found that out as a child. So, to find out that this character is voiced by Frankenstein.
Oh, is that who Boris Karloff is?
Oh, is that who Boris Karloff is? Yes. Oh my God, Sam.
I mean, if we're being surprised about all the things that I don't know, then goodness
Everybody
gracious.
knows that. Everybody knows that.
Well,
Boris Karloff was the Frankenstein monster.
It's fine. You can just call me the ghost of Christmas trash.
Man, you are on a roll tonight.
I am. I love Christmas so much. And I love the Grinch too, because I feel like it's got a really good like message to it and stuff like that. And I love this. I love the character, the Grinch, and I love Christmas. And I did get to play the Grinch last year in a little thing that I did for my work or whatever. Like I
remember that.
Yeah, I had to shoot a video for my work, and I got to be the Grinch.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. I just got to throw around presents that were just filled with things to make noise. It was great. I love the Grinch. I love Christmas.
Certainly sounds like a hoot.
Well, it's a hoot and a half.
Hoot and a half. Hell yeah. All right. Well, I think with that being said, like I always say, if you don't know who the Grinch is, why don't we give a little information on him for the uninitiated? It says here, and this is Wikipedia. I mean, you can tell I've really done my research. But the Grinch is a fictional character. I hate when they say that. The Grinch is a fictional. No, what? No.
The Grinch is absolutely real, because I'm fairly certain that's who I'm doing the podcast with.
Well, yeah. Don't need to elaborate on that, believe me. But the Grinch is a fictional character created by Dr. Seuss. He is best known as the main character of the children's book, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, 1957. Okay, so the book came out in 1957.
See, I thought so.
Yeah, he has been played / voiced by many different actors, including Boris Karloff, Hans Conried, Bob Holt, Anthony Asbury, Jim Carrey, Walter Matthau, I'm gonna pronounce half of these wrong. Rick Mayall, Zero Mostel, Corey Burton, Phil Hartman, Keith Morrison, Peter Cugno, Josh Gearhart, and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Babadook Bandersnatch.
Whatever. But there you go. All right. So where to begin with the Grinch? It's kind of like the Wicked Witch of the West. This character has been,
I mean, yeah, the character, it's been around for, quite a few decades and has had a few different iterations, but I think kind of unlike the Wicked Witch, the Grinch has pretty much stayed pretty solid to what it originated as.
Yeah, there's never really like different interpretations of the Grinch per se. Like, there's like there's the animated special, which on here says he's had a couple of animated appearances, but I think there's been 2 films, but they never stray too far away from what the Grinch, essentially who he is, his background, the world he lives in. So yeah, I completely agree with you on that.
And I say, okay, so you did your research, you've got like actual facts. You know what I did to, really give me an idea of who the Grinch is?
You went on a quest to Whoville. I wish I could think of something, Cliff.
I wish you could too, but it's fine.
We are both just done tonight. Anyway, no, go ahead. Though.
No, I was just going to say, I actually, got the actual original book printed out.
Oh!
So I could sit here and just actually read it, because there's a lot in it that you didn't pay much attention to necessarily the words, especially when you're watching the animated special. There's things that you miss. And one thing, can you just how old do you think that the Grinch is?
I have no idea. Do they give an age?
Yeah, they do.
Really?
They do. The Grinch at one point in the story goes for he says, "The more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I put up with it now. But I must stop this Christmas from coming, but how?" So wow. 53 years. Yeah. Wow. It actually says how old the Grinch is.
Because I was going to retort by saying, well, the book isn't the animated special essentially, with Boris Karloff's narration and what have you, it's essentially just him reading the book. But no, I cannot remember. Does it say it in the animated special? Do you know off the top of your head?
I have no idea.
I haven't watched it in quite some time.
Exactly. But my thing is, I think they do, because I believe that it is just him reading the book. And the thing about it is, though, is I don't know. I was gonna say something there, and I was gonna try to connect A to B, and then all of a sudden, both trains just went straight off the tracks, and it's gone.
Well, that's okay, Sam. We all forgive you.
I doubt it, but that's fine too.
But wow, that man, forever, however long it's been since I've seen the animated version, it's been even longer since I've actually sat down and read the book. We used to have it back when I was a kid, and I read it, every Christmas then, but I haven't been a child I'm 32, so 20 years.
I was going to say about 53 years.
Yeah, about 53.
About 53 years is how long it's been since you've been a child.
Yeah. But, so, the Grinch. Where do you want to start?
Okay, so I think, the basic idea is like the Grinch is not entirely sure what the Grinch is because, you know, he lives on Mount Crumpet overlooking Whoville.
Mm-hmm.
And he just sits up there hating Christmas. No one knows why, unless, of course, you watch like the Jim Carrey one where he was like abandoned as a child and, you know, small children told him he needed to shave and that hurt his feelings. Like childhood embarrassment, that would totally make you hate Christmas. I totally get it.
I will say, well, no, I'll save it.
Oh, see, now I'm really curious though.
Okay, well, I will say, and I don't detest the film. It's just like I'm not a big fan of Christmas movies. I feel like Christmas altogether, and I'm okay. And this as far as I'm going to get into my little personal philosophy of Christmas, I feel like it just has this really insincere cheerfulness to it. I think it's really fake. I don't know. I think it's all just a big corporate conglomerate type of thing. But I will say in that film, one of the as far as feeling as a film, having me experience, you know, some sort of emotion like sadness or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
When he's a child and he has that freak out at the school, and you see him climb Mount Crumpet and just look down. Thinking about it right now, that is just a very moving, you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. And also your whole little, you know, Christmas hating spiel there, like, goodness gracious, have you turned green since last time I saw you? You were never that hairy, but maybe.
No, Sam, I have felt this way. I stopped giving into the Christmas bullshit since it was probably my late teens.
Okay. And like you're fair to hate Christmas if you want to.
And I'm not saying I completely ban it. You know, I still get people presents. You know what I'm saying? I still follow with, you know.
You still follow the traditions.
Yeah, because, you know, I'm not gonna be that asshole. It's like, well, I don't believe in it, so I'm not gonna get any of you, you know, poor bastards, anything for Christmas. I just think Christmas is really hollow. And I'm not going to go too far into this because I don't want to turn this show of all things into this. But I mean, even theologically, it's been said for many years that Christ wasn't even born in December. He was born actually around Easter. So there you go.
I just want to say, in defense of Christmas, that one, you're absolutely right about the whole Christ thing. And I, at this point, okay, and sorry everybody, but I think that Christmas has very little to do with Jesus in general. Oh no, but no, like I agree that there are a lot of things about Christmas that are fake and hollow, and I can totally understand that. But I think that's where you see in this story about the Grinch that Christmas means more. It is not something that comes from a store. Christmas, I think, in its most basic form, if you allow it to be, Christmas is about warmth. It is about the people that you surround yourself with. It is about caring and loving other people. And I'm sorry, this is like my favorite time of year, except for the cold. I hate the cold. But no, like there is just like this innate warmth that you get like from a fire with Christmas, and everything smells like cinnamon, and people are singing happy songs, and sure, some of it's fake and everybody only cares about what they're going to get in their stocking or what have you. But like, if you can just move past all of that stuff and just like think about how nice it is to be around the people that you care about. And even if you're not worried about what you're getting, the look on, somebody's face or your kid's face or whatever, when they get a present that they really wanted and they're so happy, and getting to watch the stupid Christmas movies and watching The Christmas Story over and over again, even though it's a really bad movie.
It's not, honest to God, here, I guess I'm going to, it's not a bad movie. I grew up loving it.
Oh, I did too.
I love many things, many films. But it's just like what I tell my daughter, this is as far as I'm going to get, because I don't like to get too into my personal life as far as podcasting. But my daughter, I recently, a couple of weeks back, introduced her to Tenacious D.
Why? Why on earth would you do that?
I did not mean to. I was watching The Pick of Destiny.
Uh-huh.
And she happened to, either be in the room or walk into the room or whatever. And she sat and she watched the whole thing.
She loved it, didn't she?
Oh my God.
I know your kid. She loves that shit, doesn't she?
We have to watch it like twice a day now. And whenever we're in the car, we have to listen to nothing but Tenacious D music.
I mean, I guess it could be worse. I have seen Moana like multiple times with my niece.
Well, I have too. I've seen Moana. That was her big thing too. I had to watch Moana 5 times a day. But
I love Moana.
And for all of you out there that say, well, he's exposing his shot. No, I'm not. I skip it past, whether it be the music or the film. I skip it past the naughty parts. Which the film, I've always said in defense, honestly, if it wasn't for the cursing, it's just a goofy movie. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I mean it's Jack Black. Jack Black's fantastic.
Yeah, it's just if it wasn't for the cursing, it would probably be rated PG-13. To be completely honest with you, and the cursing, I just I was telling my father the other day that when we listened to the songs, because there's cursing in the songs, obviously. And when it's the really raunchy sexual songs, I skip them, Yeah. But as far as the cursing, she said, I say, don't say those words. Do not say those words, even though you're probably going to be saying them 5 years from now, but, she told me, she said, Daddy, she's like, I don't say the words out loud, but I say them in my head.
Oh, she is your kid.
And I said, okay, baby. I said, I really don't want you to do that, but it's better than you saying them out loud. So I'll take that.
Oh, that's adorable. I love her.
But the point I was getting at is Christmas Story is good if you watch it.
Oh, that's right. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, that was. I went off on a tangent. You can edit all this out later.
No, it's fine. I love it.
But the Christmas Story, it's a good film. I genuinely like it. And when it was first getting real big, it was like a cult film. It was kind of quirky,
Uh-huh.
But this 24 hours marathon bullshit. It's just like I don't want to watch it for 24 hours. I don't want to watch any film for 24 hours unless it's pornography.
I feel
goth woman pornography, may I add.
Goodness gracious, Lance. What? You know what? No, because it's Christmas. I've got Christmas spirit. I do not have time to even want to focus on your whatever your proclivities are when it comes to that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's better we not. Just
I can't with you.
Let's just move on. Moving on.
So Christmas is great, and you're wrong. I think is where we came to with that.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you.
Good. It doesn't end well because I can argue forever.
Yeah, I believe you.
But no, so the Grinch, he originally hates Christmas because he thinks he looks at it pretty much the same way that you do. He sees the hollowness of it all. He sees, everybody is just making loud noises. Everybody is just worried about what they're going to get. They're worried about the consumerism and everything that Christmas has become. It isn't until later on, after he takes all of those things, all of the baubles, all of the what he thought Christmas was, all of that joy away from them, to realize that there was more to it than the who's and what's it's and how you call it.
I think this should have been a musical episode.
You're
just saying things from the book.
I 100%. Those are all me. Excuse me.
But yeah, I mean that's the point of the story. I think it's good up until the ending. But
what do you mean? What's the problem with the ending?
Because it's just that sappy holiday bullshit.
Yes, it brings people joy. It's about love and kindness. His heart grew two or three sizes.
That sounds like a medical problem.
Oh my goodness.
I don't think see you're looking at it all wrong. That's not happiness. The Grinch needs to see a doctor.
I mean, well, probably he's been eating garbage for 53 years. Like that can't be healthy.
That's only canon in the Carrey film.
I mean, what else is he eating up on the top of Mount Crumpet in a barren wasteland of ice?
He's eating who's?
He's eating who's?
Yes. That's what I like to pretend he is eating. He's eating who's. The Grinch is like a slasher, like Freddy and Jason and all of them.
See, my thing is though, like, then how is it that if he's just like this, creature that, eats all those things, how come he keeps Max around? Why didn't he eat Max sooner?
See, I think he should eat Max.
What? You want him to eat Max? Then who's gonna pull his sleigh?
I don't care. I just want the Grinch to be a monster. I just want him to kill and hate. I just want him to hate Christmas and kill who's and eat dogs. There, I said it.
Wow, Lance, that's a hard take right there.
That Dr. Seuss is full of shit.
Mr. Theodore Geisel.
I have no idea what that is. But
what? That's Dr. Seuss's real name.
Oh, I don't know, man. I have known people that are that are really into Dr. Seuss, like, you know what I'm saying? They're like real fans.
What do you mean really into it? Like,
well, you're
really
just
into it, like you're into, goth girls? Like really into it?
No, it's no, in a much more innocent way. What does this episode become? But no, just like they're really into it, like, how you're really into D&D, I'm really into horror films. You know what I mean? Just like it's their thing. They like Dr. Seuss,
I would call them, the Who fandom, but that's a different fandom.
Yeah.
Super Who lock anybody?
Yeah. Interesting just tidbit here, but that The Nightmare Before Christmas, Christmas Land, the one that Jack goes and visits. Tim Burton designed that around Dr. Seuss.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's one of those things that when I read that, and I went and I watched the film. I was like, oh, it does look a lot, like Dr. Seuss.
Huh. Okay.
Hey, all you rogues and rapscallions. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast, but you're not really sure how to do that? Let me explain to you why Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. First of all, it's free. Did you hear that? It's completely free. There's even creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Anchor is everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So go ahead, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
But we should probably get back to the Grinch.
I feel like we have been talking about the Grinch because, what is the Grinch other than a rampant hate for mass consumerism and false niceties, which is pretty much also what you stand for, is hating all of those things.
Yeah. Oh, I did say at the beginning, I was like, this is one of the few Christmas characters I like outside of Krampus and maybe the Ghost of Christmas Future.
When you think about the Grinch, what is the thing, if you could choose one thing about the Grinch that you think about the most, or the thing that sticks out to you the most, what would it be?
That's weird because it honestly, what comes to mind is two things. Can I have two things?
Fine.
Okay. Well,
no, seriously, it's okay. I want to hear two things, both things.
Okay. Well, it's just his hatred of Christmas and his look.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that goes for a lot of people when they think of the Grinch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think like the Wicked Witch. They're both green. Wow, I just dawned on me.
That just dawned on you that green is being used as a color to depict evilness.
I wonder if that's why wickedness. I like it. I wonder if that's why I like it so much.
Why you like green?
Yeah, I always thought it had to do because I grew up loving Ninja Turtles and Godzilla, but maybe I'm wrong.
You usually are, so.
Oh, thank you. But no, I think that's the Grinch. I want to compare him yet again to the Wicked Witch, but he's even less so. He's just like, here's this character. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Here's his motivation. Here's his story. Here's his, redemption, if that's what you want to call it. It's such a basic. And I think that's kind of where the live action film fails. And I don't think it failed because you can't make an hour and a half, 2 hour film out of a story just this sort of basic. And when I say basic,
I think you're wrong, but okay.
You're wrong. You really think so?
Oh, 100%. But go on, finish your.
No, well, I'm just saying that I'm about to wrap it up. You can't make. And I what I'm saying is and I'm not saying basic in the way it's so just blah blah blah. No, I'm not, because basic, it's the backbone of any story. You have to have some kind of what I'm saying, good versus evil, something. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, because this was a children's book. This was for their consumption. You can't children can't read freaking Moby Dick. You know what I'm saying? Most of them, some of them can, but they have to kind of they have to take in this kind of story, just like it's like the fairy tales. It's just hard to make a 2 hour, or like I said, hour and a half film out of that. You have to give it a little bit more, and just, got to throw some more stuff in there, and some more character arc and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, and you do that with any story. I mean, somehow they managed to wrangle 9 hours out of one tiny Hobbit book. So you can
that was
make
for money. That was just a cash grab. I'm not even a fan of those films. That was a cash grab.
I like Martin Freeman, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But no, like, I think that, I mean, they did add a lot more into what it was, but they in the Jim Carrey rendition of the Grinch, I feel like they did keep, they kept the basic to it, and they gave him a little bit more pathos. They gave him a reason to hate Christmas, because in the original story, there is no reason for him to hate Christmas. He came from nowhere. I don't even think it even says in here whether or not he was a who. He's just up there. It's going to say the Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all must have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. Oh, see, isn't that, that's good writing right there.
I mean, it is, man. I'm not gonna. I've always heard Dr. Seuss was kind of Dr. Seuss. Jesus, Dr. Seuss was kind of a shit person.
Oh yeah, apparently that's a thing. I don't know too much about it, but it's not good apparently.
Which, I don't know, a lot of these people, we all do shitty things. I'm not into this cancel culture thing like everybody else is, but I'm not even going to get into that. This is not the place.
I was going to say, if you don't,
that's not the hill I'm dying on with this podcast. I can tell you that. Right?
We get canceled for discussing cancel culture.
Yeah. But, I mean, he was, Dr. Seuss, he really, in a way, gave us the modern fairy tale. He told these simple little stories that really helped kids develop an emotional compass. If that makes any sense.
It does, and I think that it almost goes back to like old time fables and stuff like that. He gave us these fantastical characters that kind of almost look like animals or whatever, and while they were brought down to where kids could understand them, but they all had deep meanings. Lorax is about, protecting the environment and stuff like that. Save the trees. You have the Grinch saying, fuck consumerism, and
then giving into it.
And I'm pretty sure the Cat in the Hat is just about chaos reigns. Like that's, I think that's what that's about.
Yeah, Cat in the Hat. I don't really know good book. Don't get me wrong.
Green Eggs and Ham.
I think that's
trust your friends when they offer you off-colored meats.
Well, I was gonna say try new things.
Oh, I guess. Yeah. Oh, actually, that's much better. I was just gonna be
let's go with what I said.
Trust anybody named Sam who tries to feed you weird stuff. I promise you, I'm a good cook and it'll be delicious.
I don't think you've ever offered me any food.
Have I never cooked for you before?
You've never cooked for me before.
Oh my goodness.
But of course, I'm not one of those people that is like, God damn it, make me a sandwich,
Ew, no, what? Sandwich? Bitch, I cooked my whole Thanksgiving turkey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go you.
I know. I'm a good cook. I tell you, it's what I've got. That's another reason why I love the holidays, is because it gives me a reason to cook. And I love it when people love the stuff that I make. It makes that's where my ego is.
I hate to cook. Oh, I hate it so much.
Oh man, but I love food and I love making food taste
I love
good.
food. I hate to cook. There's been many a time, man. It's just like there's nothing in the fridge. It's like, okay, it's just tomato sauce and spaghetti noodles.
Are you
know what I mean?
Oh, I totally get it, because most of the time, if it's just me, I eat just plain old cans of tuna. I will open up a can of tuna and then have my 3 cats surround me and be like, why aren't you feeding us this treat? It is ours, yes. And I'm like, nope, this is my just plain old ass can of tuna.
But something I want to get into, it's because it's something, okay, there was if you all didn't know, there's an animated version of The Grinch That Stole Christmas. Maybe you heard of it. I enjoy it. It's what I grew up with. It's really good. Like I stated this before, narrated by Boris Karloff. It's a classic. Everybody loves it. Yay! But one thing we seem really divided on is the Ron Howard, Jim Carrey version. So let's go into that a little bit.
Like I said, I love it, but I'm a big fan of Jim Carrey. I like his portrayal of the Grinch. It had a lot of great lines and quotable things for the Grinch to say and stuff like that.
We even have a little quote that we always say to one another that's from that film.
Which one is that?
From from this film, I love you.
I love you.
Yeah, we say it to each other.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I think it's a good movie. I think that Jim Carrey did a great job, but also it almost wasn't even Jim Carrey. It was going to be somebody else, but I can't remember who it was going to be. There was going to be someone else who was going to be the Grinch. I'm trying to see if I can figure out who that was.
I can't picture it being anybody else.
I agree.
Honestly, yeah. Jim Carrey, I'm for the most part, I guess you would say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not even the most part. I was born in 88, so I was, I didn't hit 10 till maybe 99, 98. But I mean, I grew up through the 90s pretty much.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah. But I mean, Jim Carrey, oh my God. Jim Carrey was a god. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, The Mask, The Riddler. I mean, Jim Carrey was, everybody loved Jim Carrey. As I got a little older and I started hearing interviews from Jim Carrey, I was like, this guy's off his fucking rocker.
Uh-huh.
I kind of have some how do I phrase this? His ideas seem a little bit off, personal beliefs or whatnot seem a little off the wall to me.
Oh, a little bit.
Yeah. As a person, I don't think I would care much for Jim Carrey. But as an actor, yes, of course. I mean,
he's a fantastic actor.
Oh, fantastic! You cannot say that Jim Carrey. You would be a fool to say Jim Carrey's not talented. You would be an absolute idiot.
And also, I mean, like little Taylor Momsen playing that.
Who grew up.
Yeah.
Who grew up. Did she grow up, ladies and gentlemen?
She did.
Woo! I still feel weird when I see her exposed breast on any number of things.
What are you seeing that in? Because I'm thinking of her. She's the Pretty Reckless, right?
Yeah, the Pretty Reckless. My God, yeah, she's showing her tits in like every video they have.
I apparently don't watch enough music videos.
I guess you don't, and it makes me feel weird because I was like 12 when the Jim Carrey movie came out, and she's this little girl. And I've always said the Pretty Reckless need to do a re-recording of "Where Are You Christmas."
That was such a that song will still make me cry.
I I don't care much for it. I just think they should do it for my amusement. Dance, monkeys.
But it's such a cute song, though.
No, it's not.
Where are you, Christmas?
We haven't even talked.
Can't
About.
find you.
You're a mean one,
Mr. Grinch.
I love that song, man.
It's-
Love it.
It's a good one, and I'm not gonna lie, I have that here too, and I'm just the imagery within this song is really just a thing of beauty. Just, oh goodness. Your heart's a dead tomato splotched with moldy purple spots.
Well, what's the what's the line in the song? I wouldn't touch you with a 9.5-foot pole or something like that.
Oh, where is that at?
Because that's something I say in like everyday life. So when I'm talking about people, when me and somebody are talking about somebody we don't like, it's like I wouldn't touch them with a.
Why don't I see that? Huh.
Hell, maybe I made it up. I don't know.
No, I'm almost certain it's in there. Now I don't know. But then you also have like the line, "Your 3-decker sauerkraut and toadstool sandwich with arsenic sauce."
Have you heard the Misfits? Have you ever heard of the Misfits?
Yes, the band.
Yes. No, the actress.
Well, no, I mean there's actually a
The
TV
cabaret
show
group.
called The Misfits.
Well, anyway,
It's British.
the Misfits do a cover of this song. I really like it. It's like, like a punk rock,
Yeah.
version of it, but it's really well done. The few Christmas songs I listen to, that's one of them. I listen to the Misfits. Listen to the Misfits. You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. I listen to Ice Nine Kills. I can't think of the title right now, but it's a song based on Silent Night, Deadly Night. And I listen to Alice Cooper's version of Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Those are the 3 Christmas songs I listen to.
Oh, and I just checked. It is I Wouldn't Touch You with a 39.5-foot pole.
Oh, is it? Well, I always say like 9.5 or 10.5. So.
Well, apparently,
But
you'll
it's-
get much closer than you would to the Grinch.
Yeah, but it's derived from that, though.
Your brain is full of spiders. You have garlic in your soul, Mr.
Mr.
Grinch. I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole. Sorry, I get really into it. I love it so much.
But I do like the way he's depicted in the live action film. I think that is, I do. I mean, I do like that. I just don't like all the filler. That's the thing with me. Like, I don't like all of the Cindy Lou Who stuff because I thought, honestly, I found her kind of annoying. I did. I don't. The girl who's the girlfriend.
Oh, the girl that the Grinch has a crush on. I don't know what her name is.
I didn't care much for that. I think the stuff with the mayor's kind of funny. Someone looks fabulous.
I mean, yeah, the filler's a bit, it can be a bit much at times or whatever. Like, I hated the girl that he was into. I love Cindy Lou Who. So I think that, I liked the relationship that they explored within this movie or whatever, and gave, like, because in the original story, it's just he hears the singing that he originally hated and realizes, like, oh man, they're still doing it. I guess this Christmas stuff is more than about presents, and he just automatically goes into it. But with this new movie, he has a connection to it beyond what his own like inner monologue is. He has someone else to show him the way, to show him like there are different ways to celebrate Christmas and different ways to love Christmas, and that it isn't all about the things. It's about the people. And I think that makes it, I don't know, more realistic. You know, that he has that thing. You know, his heart is growing not just because of them singing. His heart is growing because he realizes that he can care about another who.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm sorry. I love it so much.
No, I completely understand.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. The stuff I like about him is like, I like how they almost treat him like he's he's a myth, you know?
Right.
I think that's kind of cool. Like he's Sasquatch or something, you know?
Oh, you know what I did love? Like the big face of himself.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of. Yeah.
That he uses to scare people. That was great.
Yeah.
Oh man, I want one of those for like my apartment, so that way anybody like comes up or whatever and wants anything, I can just like send out a giant version of my face to tell people to go away. That would be great.
I can't process that image right now.
It would be a lot to process.
Yeah, but I think we've said pretty much all we can say about him. Honestly, so how are we gonna rate this dude?
I think that we should rate it by nasty wet out of 5 nasty wasty skunks.
I was gonna say we should rate it out of 5. What a hack jobs! Because that's what a kid says to him after he shaves.
Out of 5, what a hack job!
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with that one.
All right. That's easier to pronounce anyway.
Other than nasty wasty skunk. Okay, so how many what a hack job out of 5 do you give the Grinch?
I don't know. I'm really conflicted because he does turn good. But I mean, it's like the Wicked Witch. It's so iconic, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like I've been doing this a lot lately. I remember us having a discussion like, well, I wonder how far we're going to get into this where until we, have the villain that gets all the, stars or whatever. But I mean, it is the Grinch. It's iconic. I'm going to give him 5. What a hack jobs.
Sorry, I just you do that voice. I can't help but laugh. Okay. See, my thing. I'm looking at him like 1. He is a good villain. He has like an actual purpose. It's not just I want to be feared. Yeah. He is actually out there doing something. He comes up with a good plan. He has a loyal henchman in Max. And he actually succeeds at what he was doing. Sure, he, learns the error of his ways or whatever, or he has a change of heart, but technically he succeeds. He could have just thrown that shit off of Mount Crumpet and just fucked off into the sunset. He did what he set out to do. And I think for that, because so many villains screw it up before then.
Yeah.
He is iconic. He is successful in his mission, even if he decides to change his mind later. And he has a badass song written about him.
Yeah.
I think, man, I was going to try to be much harsher on this, but it might just be the Christmas spirit flowing through my veins right now. I can feel it, just all the Christmas happiness and spirit telling me that I give the Grinch a 5 as well.
Well, 5 what?
Oh, sorry, yes. I give the Grinch 5. What a hack job!
That is awesome. All right. Well, I think that's the first character. Let me go back to Wikipedia. The first fictional character.
It's very good to have that clarification because
because I if they didn't put that in, I would think, oh my God, he's real. He's based upon an actual person.
I mean, it could be. So
yeah, but I think it's the first person so far you've given 5 to, hasn't it?
I believe so. I feel like this is one of the first villains that we've had so far that actually was successful in their plot.
Yeah, and you got a point. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Okay, well, before we go, I think we need to run down the usual people to thank. Thank the Fearscape Media Network for letting us put on this little horse and pony show. Thank you for listening, of course. The 2 people that tune in.
Oh, so 3 people tuned out from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, because they lost interest.
Oh, okay.
but I also want to reiterate, check out our Facebook. Check us out. We'll just go to period. Just go over to fearscapemedia.com or fearscapemedia.com. You go there.
Well, yes, Fearscape Media. Yeah.
But go to the Fearscape Media fan page. Everybody's having a hell of a time over there. We're talking about spooky, scary, creepy stuff. We're talking about aliens,
scary skeletons, shivers down your spine. Sorry,
we're talking about Sam's rhyming. And yeah, so Sam, do we have any other?
Don't forget to look us up on Twitter and Instagram as well, Antagonist_AVP. So we post, like when we have new episodes and stuff like that there too. And just in general, I hope everyone has a fantastic Christmas. I know that this has been one hell of a year, but on the bright side, it's almost over, motherfuckers. We got the finish line.
Yeah. And contrary to my personal beliefs, I do wish you all a very Merry Christmas.
And his heart grew 3 sizes that day.
No. But before we go, before we say bye, Sam, I just got to tell you one thing.
Yes.
I love you.
I love you.
All right. With that being said, good night, everybody.
Good night and farewell.